Your fingers are bleeding. The rain is freezing against your skin. You are hanging 400 feet above the jagged rocks of the northern coast. This is Daichi. He has been climbing the razor's edge for 6 hours. He has no rope. He has no safety gear. He has only his grip strength and his will. And right now, both are failing. His left hand slips. A shower of pebbles falls into the abyss. Daichi gasps. His heart slams against his ribs like a trapped bird. He looks up. The summit is still 50 feet away. It might as well be the moon. His brain screams the command, "Let go. It is over. You cannot make it. Just let the pain end." Standing at the summit, looking down at him, is Master Kale. He holds a lantern. He sees Daichi slipping. He does not lower a rope. He does not offer words of encouragement. He picks up a heavy stone and drops it. It smashes into the cliff face, inches from Daichi's head. "Why are you stopping, Daichi?" The master roars over the wind. I have no strength left," Daichi screams back. "My muscles are dead!" "Liar!" the master shouts. "You are not stopping because your muscles are dead. You are stopping because your mind has accepted death. You are saving energy for the swim home. But there is no swim home. There is only the climb or the rocks. Unlock the gate, Daichi. Use the reserve tank. Or die right now." Right now, you are Daichi. You are hanging off the side of your own life. You are running a business that is failing. You are in a relationship that is crumbling. You are fighting a depression that feels endless. And the voice in your head is telling you to let go. It tells you, "I've done my best." It tells you, "I'm burnt out." It tells you, "It's impossible." This voice is a liar. Science tells us that when your brain says, "I'm done," your body is only 40% depleted. The other 60% is hidden behind a wall of pain designed to keep you safe. You are not quitting because you can't go on. You are quitting because you are unwilling to suffer the cost of the reserve tank. The samurai had a forbidden technique for this moment. They called it Keshi, the spirit of decisive death. It is the psychological switch that tricks the brain into believing you are already dead, so that it releases every ounce of hysterical strength you possess. It is the secret to never giving up, not because you are motivated, but because you have destroyed the option of failure. Today, we are going to teach you how to trick your brain. We are going to teach you how to access the 60% you are leaving on the table. The master is holding the stone. The rain is falling. Are you going to let go? Or are you going to climb? The governor of pain. Daichi hung there, his fingers cramping into claws. "I cannot!" he screamed. "It is physically impossible!" Master Kale leaned over the edge. He looked bored. "Daichi, if a tiger jumped onto that ledge right now, would you climb?" Daichi hesitated. "Yes, of course." "If the rock crumbled and you had to jump to the next hold to save your life, would you jump?" "Yes." "Then you are a liar," Kale said calmly. "You just told me you had no strength left, but you admit that if the fear was great enough, you would find the strength." "So the strength is there. You were just refusing to access it because it costs too much pain." This is the conversation you are having with yourself every single day. You hit a wall in your work. You hit a wall in the gym. You hit a wall in your discipline. and your brain says, "System failure, battery empty, shutting down." You believe this signal. You think it is a fuel gauge. You think, "I am burnt out, I need to rest." But the Japanese masters knew that this signal is a lie. It is not a fuel gauge. It is a governor. Modern sports science calls this the central governor theory. Your brain is designed for one thing: survival. It is terrified of zero. It never wants you to run out of energy completely, because in the wild, zero energy means death. So, when you have used only 40% of your available energy, your brain slams on the brakes. It floods your body with pain signals. It creates the sensation of overwhelming fatigue. It screams, "Stop!" Not because you are empty, but because you are dipping into the reserves. The reserve tank is meant for emergencies only. Daichi was at 40%. He felt like he was at 100%. The gap between 40% and 100% is where the samurai lives. Master Kale picked up a second stone. "You are saving energy for a tomorrow that will not come if you fall," Kale said. "Your brain is hoarding glycogen. It is hoarding ATP. It is keeping you safe."
"But we are not here to be safe. We are here to ascend."
You must break the governor. You must tell your brain that this is the emergency. Right now, you are sitting in your comfort zone. You feel tired after an 8-hour shift. You feel exhausted after a 3-mile run. You are not exhausted. You are just uncomfortable. You are like a car with a speed limiter set to 40 miles per hour. You have a Ferrari engine, but you are driving it like a golf cart because you are afraid of overheating. The forbidden technique of the samurai is simply the ability to override the safety switch. It is the ability to look at the pain signal and say, "I hear you, but we are not stopping." Daichi looked at his bleeding hands. He realized the master was right. He wasn't unable to move. He was just unwilling to suffer more. He was waiting for the climb to feel easy, but the climb never gets easy. You just get harder.
"Master,"
Daichi gritted out.
"how do I unlock the gate?"
"You stop negotiating," Kale said. "Pain is a negotiator. It makes an offer. Stop climbing and I will stop hurting."
"Most men take the deal."
You must reject the deal. You must embrace the suffering as the path, not the obstacle. You are a negotiator. Every morning when the alarm goes off, you negotiate. 5 more minutes. Every time you look at a difficult task, you negotiate. "I'll do it later." You are making deals with weakness. And every deal you make strengthens the governor. The governor learns that as soon as he sends a little pain signal, you will fold. So he sends it earlier and earlier. Soon you are exhausted before you even start. To become the strongest version of yourself, you must tear up the contract. No more deals. The pain is staying, and so are you. The spirit of decisive death. Master Kale lowered the lantern until it swung just above Daichi's face. "Daichi," he whispered, "do you know why the madness comes to the mother when her child is trapped under a cart?"
"No,"
Daichi gasped. "Because for that one moment, she does not care if her muscles tear. She does not care if her bones snap. She does not care if she lives or dies. She enters Keshi. This translates to the spirit of decisive death. It is the state of total abandonment. You are still climbing like a man who wants to save his skin. You are careful. You are hesitant. You cannot climb this rock as a living man. You are too heavy with fear. You must climb it as a ghost. The master pulled a knife from his belt and cut the lantern loose. It fell past Daichi, tumbling into the darkness. Smash. The light was gone. Daichi was alone in the pitch black. Consider yourself dead. Kale's voice echoed from above. The Daichi who left the village is gone. The Daichi who has a future is gone. You have already fallen. You are already broken on the rocks. Now that the worst has happened, what is stopping you? In the darkness, something clicked in Daichi's brain. The anxiety vanished. Anxiety requires a future to worry about. If you accept that you are already dead, the future disappears, and so does the worry. A cold, terrifying calm washed over him. His breathing slowed. His heart rate dropped. He stopped trying to survive. He started to simply operate. He reached up. His hand found a razor-sharp edge. It cut his palm. 5 minutes ago, he would have flinched. Now, he didn't even feel it. The pain was just information. Grip holding. Pull. This is the psychological state of hysterical strength. Under normal conditions, your body limits your muscle recruitment to prevent injury. You are only using a fraction of your fibers. But when the brain is convinced that death is imminent, it removes the limiters. It floods the system with adrenaline and cortisol. It allows your muscles to contract hard enough to break your own bones. You have access to this power, but you never use it because you are constantly trying to preserve yourself. You are trying to build a business without losing sleep. You are trying to get in shape without feeling pain. You are trying to win without risking loss. You are playing the game with one hand on the door handle, ready to bail out. Keshi is the act of locking the door and throwing away the key. It is Sun Tzu's burning the boats. When the soldiers have no way home, they fight with the fury of demons. When you have a plan B, your plan A is doomed. Daichi realized that looking down was the problem. Looking down reminded him of the consequences. Keshi is the removal of consequences. There is only the rock. There is only the hand. There is only the next move. He pulled. His shoulders screamed. He pulled harder. He wasn't climbing with strength anymore. He was climbing with madness. You are stuck because you are too sane. You are calculating the risks. You are worried about the ROI of your effort. The Master teaches us that greatness is not a calculation. It is a compulsion. You have to get to the point where the goal matters more than your own preservation, where you would rather die trying than live wondering. Daichi threw his hand into the dark. He found the ledge. The universe in 1 inch. Daichi pulled himself onto the small ledge. He gasped for air, his lungs burning like frozen paper. Above him loomed the Devil's Overhang, a smooth, concave face of rock that required him to hang upside down to traverse it. In the dark, it felt infinite. Daichi's mind began to calculate. I need to reach the crack, then swing my leg, then pull for 3 meters. The math crushed him. The sequence was too long, the effort was too high. It is too far, Daichi whispered. I cannot string the moves together. From the darkness above, Master Kale's voice cut through the wind. Who asked you to string them together? You are defeated because you are trying to climb the whole mountain at once. The mountain is a monster. You cannot kill the monster. But you can kill an inch. Can you hold on for one more second? Daichi nodded. Yes. Can you move your right hand 1 inch higher? Yes. Then do only that. Do not think about the second inch until the first is conquered. This is the failure of the modern mind. You are obsessed with the big picture. You look at the 50 pounds you need to lose. You look at the $50,000 of debt you need to pay. You look at the 5-year business plan, and you freeze. The amygdala sees the size of the task and tags it as impossible. It stops releasing dopamine because the reward is too far away. Psychologists call this the goal gradient effect. Motivation is determined by how close you are to the reward. If the finish line is a year away, your motivation is 0. If the finish line is 1 inch away, your motivation is infinite. Daichi stopped calculating. He stopped visualizing the summit. He narrowed his universe down to the size of a coin. He focused entirely on a single, sharp flake of rock above his head. He didn't care about the overhang. He cared about the flake. Reach, grab, lock. A hit of dopamine, a tiny victory. Then, the next flake. Reach, grab, lock. He was no longer climbing a cliff. He was fighting a series of 1-second wars, and he was winning them all. You are losing because you are fighting the whole war. You wake up and think about the entire day. You think about the entire project.
This is cognitive suicide.
To access the reserve tank, you must shrink your horizon. Do not write a book. Write a sentence. Do not run a marathon. Run to the next lamppost. Do not fix your life. Wash the dish in a sink. When you shrink the horizon, you hack the governor. The brain says, "Oh, I can do 1 inch. That's easy." And once you do the inch, the brain releases the fuel for the next one. You become a machine of perpetual motion. Daichi moved through the overhang in a trance. He didn't know how high he was. He didn't know how much was left. He had entered the state of mushin, no mind, applied to the micro moment. He was simply a process of see, reach, pull. He was eating the elephant 1 bite at a time, in the dark, without looking at the rest of the animal. Suddenly, his hand reached up for the next hold and grasped nothing but grass. He felt the wind hit his face from all sides. He pulled himself over the lip. The ground was flat. He lay on his back, staring up at the stars. He hadn't conquered the mountain. He had simply conquered 1 inch, 4,000 times in a row. The View from the Dead. Here is Section 4, written strictly according to the locked format. Chapter 4. The View from the Dead. Master Kale struck a flint. The lantern flared back to life, illuminating the summit. Daichi lay on the grass, his chest heaving. He looked at his hands. They were raw, bloody, and shaking. But he felt strange. He felt light. He looked at the master. I made it. Kale shook his head. No. Daichi did not make it. Daichi gave up 400 feet ago. Daichi died on the ledge when the light went out. The man lying before me is a stranger. You are the creature that was born when Daichi ran out of options. Kale walked to the edge of the cliff and looked down into the black abyss. Do you understand the secret now? The wall was never the enemy. The wind was never the enemy. The enemy was your belief that you had limits. You thought your limit was 40%, so you stopped at 40%. But when I took away your sight, and when I took away your hope of survival, you smashed through the 40% wall. You found the hidden 60%, the reservoir of the gods. This is the concept of the phantom wall. In marathon running, athletes hit the wall at mile 20. Their glycogen is low. Their brain screams, "Stop." But if a runner collapses and is told, "Run or we shoot your family," they will get up and run another 20 miles. Where did the energy come from? It was always there. The wall is a hologram projected by the governor to keep you comfortable. Daichi had spent his whole life stopping at the hologram. Tonight, he ran through it. You have broken the seal, Daichi, Kale said. But be warned, once you know the tank is deep, you can never pretend to be shallow again. You can never say, "I can't," ever again, because you know it is a lie. You have lost the luxury of weakness. Daichi stood up. The pain in his legs was excruciating, but it felt distant. It was merely a sensation, like the wind. He realized that for his entire life, he had been living in a tiny box of comfortable effort. He thought he was working hard. He thought he was pushing, but he was sleepwalking. Tonight, he had finally woken up. He looked at the master. "What happens now?" Daichi asked. Kale smiled, a rare, terrifying expression. Now we climb down. Because the summit is not the goal. The transformation is the goal. And the transformation only sticks if you do it again. Daichi returned to the village at dawn. His hands were bandaged, his body was wrecked. But as he walked through the market, watching the villagers haggle over fish and complain about the cold, he felt a strange distance. They were living in the world of, "I can't. I can't afford that. I can't wake up early. I can't change." Daichi knew now that "I can't" is not a fact. It is a decision. It is a decision to stay within the safe 40% of your potential. He had touched the 100%. He had seen the demon inside him that could survive the impossible. And once you meet that demon, you can never go back to being a sheep. You are sitting at the bottom of your own cliff right now. Maybe it is a failing marriage. Maybe it is a dead-end career. Maybe it is a body you hate. You are looking up at the overhang, and your governor is screaming, "It's too high. Stop. Go back." You are listening to the governor because you think he is protecting you. He is not protecting you. He is limiting you. He is keeping you small so you survive. But you were not born to merely survive. You were born to climb. The next time you feel exhausted, remember Daichi. Remember that your exhaustion
is a lie. It is a biological trick. You have 60% left in the tank. The only way to access it is to kill the option of quitting. As long as giving up is on the table, your brain will try to take it. You must take it off the table. You must cut the rope. Tell yourself, I will succeed, or I will die on this wall. It sounds extreme. It is extreme. But extreme results require extreme psychology. You don't need more motivation. You don't need a better plan. You need to stop negotiating with pain. Pain is just the fee for entry into the 60%. Pay the fee. Climb the inch. Ignore the summit. Just do the next rep. Write the next page. Make the next call. The lantern is gone. The darkness is here. Master Kale is waiting. Are you going to hang there and complain? Or are you going to find out who you actually are? So tell me, what is the impossible task you have been avoiding? And are you ready to burn the boats and commit to the climb? If you are ready to break the governor, leave a comment. Cut the rope.